Good evening, all. This is Shaik Akbar Ali, founder of IIFSA organization. So, aquaculture and virtual pond management. So, we are running one setup, a systematic approach, ICT based pond management services, calling as IIFSA Pond Care. I think all knows everyone about aquaculture. Aquaculture is like a similar kind of agriculture. So doing in a aquatic environment, underwater. So animal and also plants also running in aquaculture. So mainly purpose of aquaculture is food. It's a high nutrition value food. So we know already fish as a food and also polyunsaturated fatty acids, lot of vitamins, minerals. So very good quality of nutrition. And also aquaculture, very important aspect is these species having a high multiplication capacity and minimal water requirement. So these fishes require very little of water, but they need water for living purpose only, not for consuming. That means if we compare to paddy required more water compared to the fish. And also multiplication capacity because of these aquatic animals having a high fecundity capacity means they can produce the number of their babies. So like fish is producing 5 to 10 lakhs of fishes, one fish. So like that is having high multiplication capacity. And also very importantly they require very low energy requirement for protein production. So they can even very less nutrition value of diets they can convert into high enriched protein flesh. So this is the very important aspect of aquaculture. And our Indian warm water so favors the fish growth. Aquaculture production, all these are potential. And also very importantly, see a lot of people, lot of workers required to operate this aquaculture activity, and it's a good scope for providing employment from the hatchery level and at the seed production and at the nursery level growing production and feed manufacturer and field boys and pond management, digging, harvesting, and after harvesting, processing, pre-processing, value addition, export. So all this, good potential for employment. The main principle of aquaculture, if you understand, important thing is the ecosystem and oxygen budget and also desirable fish species for culture and living space and supplementary feeding, pond fertility, disease and their control. This is the main principle of aquaculture. This information, this knowledge is a must and should to tackle the farm. So here, virtually, how we can do all this important activity, how we can monitor. So, these all information, knowledge, beginning to start the aquaculture must and should require. We need to understand what is the ecosystem farm and what is the budget of the particular farm and what species it is required or fit for that farming, how much density we need to stock, and what type of supplementary feed ingredients or feeds required to farm the farming. These all information required after the pond fertility, the soil structure, the soil fertility and water content, organic levels. These all required information. So with this information, we can start the aquaculture easily. Now come to the point, virtual pond care. virtual aquaculture, how virtually we can manage this, all farming area. Especially take, farming means different type of farming methods are there: cage culture, you know, RAS farming, biofog farming, earthen ponds, any farmings. So we can easily monitor with a virtual ICT based system. Here in IPSA organization, we are providing pond specific solution at farmer doorstep. This virtual, we are giving them virtual pond care. How we are providing, what information required, what the the benefits of this virtual pond care. I am going to explain you. So here the pond management, in aquaculture, pond management first is a pre-stocking management. Before stocking, because before stocking is eradication of pre-stocking management. This pre-stocking management in virtually we can provide the training sessions, online virtual trainings, and also videos of this information. It's easily can learn by the farmers. And come to the next stocking. During the stocking, what type of measurements need to take at farm level? So how many seed need to stock? What densities required those pond areas? And at the time of rearing ponds, at the time of stocking grow-out pond, how much is the size of the seeds. These all information virtually by virtual trainings easily we can provide. So farmer understanding also by seeing this one. So what we are when we're conducting these trainings, we are going to showcase this, or already existed ponds. So simultaneously, they can watch these pond activities, how much seed they are stocking, what type of seed sizes they are stocking. So these trainings, virtual trainings, all this information farmer can get. So without this, if suppose one person cannot be, provide information going to the field, and it take time, and also a lot of risk need to be faced, traveling and all. But in a virtual, it is easy. One time he can provide, almost, if more than 50, 100 farmers also listen this, virtual trainings, and how to stock, what type of seeds necessary, and also suitably, what type of seed suitable for that area. These all trainings easily can be made. And come to the post stocking management. Feeding is a very important in the post stocking, and periodic fertilization. How to do the fertilization? What type of fertilizers required? The purpose of the fertilization. All these aspects we can. And pond environment monitoring and fish health monitoring schedules. So in the virtual pond management, what actually, all these records farmer can fill in their mobile app itself. So when the feeding time is given, and how much feed he given, and what type of feeds he given, thus information he can recorded in the app itself, and what type of fertilizers he is giving, and how much quantities or doses, everything he can easily recorded in this platform, virtual platform. And also regularly pond environment monitoring, dissolve oxygen level, pH level, alkalinity, hardness. So all this water parameter at the farm level, farmer can record. So in IPSA, we are supplying, some test kits, water parameter for testing water, and we are supplying test kits. By using these test kits, so they can do the all test at the farm level, pond dike itself. Then he can record. And come to the fish health monitoring. So health monitoring is a very important in this aspect. So I'm going to explain what the behavioral observation, clinical observation, microscopic observation, all at the pond level farmer can record. So in IPSA, what we are developed a program, after joining the farmers, we are conducting training to him, all these aspects. Come to the parameters to be monitored. See nature of pond and water area, how much extent is available, and pond years, is there a new pond or old pond, how many years, and management option, whether they are doing extensive, intensive, or semi-intensive, what type of management they are following, and what color, water transparency, water depth, soft sediment depth, solid sediment depth, and what the chemical environment in that water column. So dawn oxygen, the early morning oxygen level. These all parameters need to be monitored and record in the app itself. And come to the host pathogen and environment in virtual pond management. So in virtual pond management, see all this recorded data. So the expert can view by the pond specific at selecting the pond and what the environment parameter, what the level, how much levels there, what is the optimum level, and pathogens, protozoans density, how much there, or any other water toxic algae are present. Behavioral observation, fish is not behaving properly, not taking feeding, all these parameters. So the doctor, the virtual fish veterinarian can easily, see and provide justified advice to the farm. Health monitoring. Health monitoring is, already told you, daily observation of fish in each pond, how they behave, what type of, how much feed, what time it's taken to feed, and morning behavior, evening behavior. So all this farmer can, in the app itself, he can choose. So this is the behavior is having, and it's not feeding. Like that, farmer at the pond level he can record. And weekly sample, and some farmers doing weekly or monthly sampling. So after sampling the growth rate, the parasite presence, the mucus content, easily the information he can record. And sometimes he not understand the behavior, and he can bring the sample to laboratory, and is a linked laboratory record in the same app itself. And some again during mortality outbreaks, the sample he can bring to the linked laboratory. So I already told the behavior of the slowing down and complete stoppage of feeding, loss of equilibrium, swimming erratically, or sometimes coming to surface, gulping air, scrabbing against the, sometimes, some sticks are the feed stick, feed poles, and against that one scrapping. This all behavioral. Already a questionnaire in the, app itself is having. Just the farmer role is need to select. So what is the exact behavior of the fish? And pond management, the clinical symptoms. Clinical symptoms are like excess mucus segregation, changes in the normal coloration, or erosion in some scales and part of the fins, decoloration of gills or skin, abdominal swelling, sometimes, the bulging eyes, presence of cyst, spots, patches over the body. These all fishes, and the simultaneously, similarly shrimp. Shrimp, antennal cutting, so black gill. These all symptoms will come in the shrimp. So likewise, species wise, these clinical symptoms already recorded in the app itself. Just the farmer need to select, choose this one, whatever symptoms he observed at the farm level, he can choose. And in sometime, already told during this mortality period, so farmer can take the sample, bring to the laboratory, and there, so he can get all records. So what type of parasites there, how much, the intensity of parasite, and why mortality is happening, all this in a laboratory examination will take place. That report also in the keep in the same pond records. So this means farm level pond farmer can observe, or at this mortality time, during the mortality time, he can bring this one to laboratory. And he suppose he don't have knowledge on this, he can call to the field coordinator. So field coordinator behalf the farmer, he can view all these clinical observation, behavioral observations. So the pond environment, water parameter, so DO levels, so pH, everything he can observe and record in the so pond specific data sheet in the app. So this way, all data can be recorded, and so farmer can easily, by using the IPSA Pond Care app, he can book the virtual consultant whenever he required, and he can book the visits also, field coordinator visits he can book, and a lab book test also he can book. So after these all requisition, also after booking, so if he booked the doctor consultation, so then doctor will see his entire pond data, and history of the pond and observations, behavioral observation, clinical symptoms, allow or earlier report lab reports. So all he analyzed, retrieved old data also. Then so based on this information, the doctor can provide justified advice. It's not a a justified advice means it's a specific to that pond. It's That's why we are calling pond specific solution at farmer doorstep. That means one farmer, number of ponds he can manage, he can get the support by this IPSA pond care in a two aspect. So he can take the field coordinator help at the farm level, or he can send these samples to laboratory, and laboratory analysis also help him to identify the diseases, and also the virtual doctor also will diagnose and get a timely advisor at required time. And also anytime, he 24 hour in 7 days he can get the advices, and he can treat immediately without file. And no need to no need to depend on neighbors what they use, the same thing need to use. So no need to do all this, and perfectly whatever the root cause of the problem diagnosed in this system. And it is helpful to the farming community to reduce their investment, because directly, so what requirement they can so they can put into the pond unnecessarily, all antibiotics and chemicals, no need to use at that situation. And this is the app you are seeing. See, in this app, pond health 100%. This is artificial intelligence we added in this app, this IPSA Pond Care. Automatically, it shows the health status of the farm. If the health status is 100%, then a farmer no need to worry on this pond. Okay. If health status is going down below 100%, he immediately he need to take precaution. Whether he need to observe this behavioral or see the clinical symptoms of the animal and water quality. So immediately he can react. So this way, IPSA Pond Care helping the farming virtually, and so it's 100% easily farmer can get benefited here. What is the main different present system and the virtual system means? In a present system, the record of this farm, there is no perfect record of the farm, and there is no data collection, or there is no analyze of the farm. But in a virtual, the expert can analyze, he can view from his office, and also not in a limited number, he can view number of farms entire globe, and he can provide a justified pond specific advisor to that pond issue. And here, moreover, the IPSA is supplying water test kits. So these test kits, using these test kits, farmer can do water analysis at their farm level and record it. Then these all knowledge, continuously receiving from these experts and field coordinator, ultimately the farmer is getting benefited in this one. He can become an expert, he can tackle his pond easily. Then the the important, not importance, the stress of the doctor will reduce slowly. And then this program, we can enhance the entire globe. Thank you. Thank you for listening. You can ask me, so how this virtual, management, pond management, IPSA is doing, and you can ask any question in this one. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you, Mr. Ali, for the talk. Now I'll take up some questions. Could you outline the key components of the ICT LED ecosystem developed by you?
Yeah. So this is IPSA only developed this system. Is this system taking for development this we are 10 years taken time to develop. Actually, initial period we don't have idea of this, develop this virtual system. So we are facing a lot of issues at the farm level, because the importance of my services previously, during say, the startup of 2009 year, so increasing. So I am unable to, perform my advisory to all these required farmers. That is a problem I faced. Then this thinking came out, and successfully I developed this software. And by this using, I am providing services easily. Ask me, please.
Okay. Next question is, how does technology play a role in enhancing the efficiency of aquaculture in your approach?
Yes. Here, the main use of technology is, so recording the data, recording the entire pond system technical data, the animal, growing animal, the pond environment, and activity. So management activities, all is recording. So these recorded data is helping, to provide a justify advice to the farming community. This is helping for expert to retrieve all these data. So, what the reason for this mortality or morbidity? What is the root cause? So, identification root cause is a very important in a disease treatment. So, by these tools, by these ICT tools, finding this root cause is very easy.
Okay. And what specific challenges in aquaculture does ICT LED Aqua aim to address?
Yeah, specific challenge is, all nowadays, previous years, present years, technology wise, people understanding the, mobile apps, so now increased. People aware about this technology, but the problem only one we are facing this. The field coordinator, the field persons getting that employees, trained field coordinators availability is very less. And also, another second challenge is by using ICT technologies, and the connectivity issues also is coming in a remote locations. Those are challenges, and also it's having scope to expansion. But here, you need to bring a AI and IoT device. So these adaptability of the farming community at present is very low. I hope in the coming days this will be where, adaptability is increased. Perfectly we can use this service.
Okay. And can you highlight any notable success stories or case studies related to this technology?
Yeah. This ICT-based advisory service in 2009 I started, and during that period, previously, the same type of ICT advisory service, ESAG, in agriculture, some Tribal IT Hyderabad people already using, and these in aquaculture, similar kind of activity I myself started, but a little bit different. And here the main difference is we are we are bringing the field coordinator, laboratory, and farmer knowledge to, and also expect expect experience to find the root cause of root cause of problems in the farming. The main problem, already not only disease and as growth also very important. So to understand this all the things, ICT is the perfect platform. And after that, some other people also started these services. Now I don't know how many people using ICT, but anyhow, the farm, the different farms. Somebody using WhatsApp, somebody using Skype, somebody using mobile apps, and that is increased.
Okay. And how have you contributed to the integration of ICT in aquaculture practices?
So yeah, aquaculture practices in what we are doing presently, we are recording the method of farmings, number of method of farmings. So we are recording and we are sharing to the our farming community. So it is helping the farming community, and also we are conducting virtual demonstration activities. One of our person will go to the field and showcase the entire farming, the farm pond activity, and simultaneously in the same line, the expert will join and explain detailedly to the farming community.
Okay. And what distinguishes ICT LED aqua from traditional methods of aquaculture?
Yes, it's one thing I want to share you. ICT is a one type of systematic approach. In a systematic approach, not only identification of problem, not only identification of root cause, and also providing solution to that root cause is very important. Here in ICT, we can understand the surrounding pond ecosystem, what type of things available, what resource available. By using the resource, we can provide advisory in ICT. In traditional system, what actually farmers doing? Traditional system, that generally they are following the neighboring farmer activities and farmer interest and those things in traditionally. That also sometimes is work and sometimes it won't work. But in this ICT, farmer can choose because entire group in the same following in the same system, and who is getting good profit, how he's got good good result and good profit, farmer can learn easily in ICT.
Okay. How does this technology impact sustainability and resource management in aquaculture?
Yeah. The sustainability will come following the multiple factors. Here, the main principle in aquaculture, not only production, we need to see the environment also. So environment parameters we need to be monitored while harvesting, water exchange, or filling the water in the pond. We need to record. So once every farmer in the system started recording their pond water quality and at the time of harvesting water quality, and along with that advisory, the expert advisory, all these factors we can bring the ecosystem natural perfectly. We can the aspect of sustainability in the ecosystem we can bring. But in a present system, without this ICT, without recording this all the data, so how can tell that so farmer is stocking normal density in the farm, and farmer is giving a normal general quantity of feed, not overloaded. It's a very difficult. But here the difficulty will go and sustainability will come.
What role does data analytics play in optimizing the performance of aquaculture systems under ICT LED Aqua?
Madam, another.
One. What role does data analytics play in optimizing the performance of aquaculture systems under ICT LED Aqua?
Yes, this data, I will tell you one example. Yeah. So how this data can help, to make normalize in the system. For example, taking one disease or one problem, for one dissolve oxygen problem in the aquaculture system. So while studying this dissolved oxygen problem, we need to have the stocking density data. And then we need to know the organic carbon in the soil and water. And we need to know the other population rather than the culture animal in the pond system. How much, the numbers are there. And all data is required to provide one problem solution. Like this, these data is helping to take a justified advice. And this justified advice is suitable, pond specific. Even you have in a farm 2 to 3 ponds. These 2 to 3 pond entire ecosystem is different in each other. One advice is not fit for all ponds. But here in this ICT system, each pond we are monitoring specifically. That's why this data is helping to provide specific advisory service. Okay.
Uh, Last question. In what ways your work influenced or benefited the aquaculture industry?
Yes. Mainly, this virtual advisory service pond care system is helping the farming community to reduce unnecessary antibiotics, unnecessary sanitizers. They can reduce their investment. Properly, they can use their pond inputs. Then what happen? The productivity will increase, and also the quality of the culture, fishes and shrimps will increase. So both way, quality and quantity, both way he can get profit in this aspect. And also one other major important aspect, by using this virtual advisory service, monitoring regularly his pond data, recording in the mobile app, and he can make the strategic plan further coming years, what type of seeds he need to start and how much density he need to start for his particular pond. and previously what problem he faced, and what advisory he got, and what the remedy, everything in his pocket, in his hand. This way, this ICT or our IPSA pond care is helping to the farming community.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Shaik Akbar Ali. I don't see any more questions from our participants. So now we have come to end of question round. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we'd like to thank you for the detailed presentation and answering all the questions in depth. And we also like to thank all the participants for joining this meeting. The meeting will now be closed. Wish you all a happy and safe Diwali.
Yeah. Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Happy Diwali. Thank you.